Now, I actually attempted this theme once before and ended up deleting that island without ever uploading a DA, but then I decided to try again, and despite some struggles, guess what? We're gonna be decorating the last major area today. Hello everyone, and welcome to another long play once again on my Kidcore island, or more specifically my mint, orange, and yellow themed Kidcore island called Sorbet. I've actually done a long play of this island before, actually two different long plays. One was for this neighborhood right here, and then one was kind of like working on a few fillers and a few like connecting areas, I want to say. It seems as though Joey is deep in thoughts over here, but maybe I should let him know that there's really no point in moving because this island is nearing completion, which has me kind of excited. So for a while, I actually struggled with this theme a lot, and I still kind of feel like I do. I personally think that Kidcore is not going to be my favorite, but if you look at the map, it seems pretty far along, and it is at this point. Now, there is a part on this island that's not going to be accessible, which is basically the top left, so anything in BCD2, I guess, if you want to go by the squares. But everything else is pretty much mapped out. We have the entire infrastructure done. We do have all the villagers, all the houses are where they're supposed to be. And I also now actually have an idea of what to do everywhere. And the only thing that's missing is a couple of smaller areas, just like this here, for example, that just is gonna need a little, details, like a few flowers, a few shrubs. Here is my house with a big like plushie factory. And then I actually visited my parents over the weekend. I just got back today, and each train ride is about 3 hours. The train ride to my parents was actually spent working on this little laundry area here, which I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. I still have yet to work on a couple of details. Like we've got some surfaces here that need a few more things, like on top of the tables and the washing machines and everything. But apart from that, and I think maybe like up here there could be something, but apart from that, I think this is decent enough. And then the train ride back today, I was working on this like neighborhood here. I customized all these houses. I added this little like lily pad pond because these are 3 frogs living together. I also gave them this tiny section here towards the bottom where they can like hang out together. It still needs a lot of mint colored things, but that'll be added at some point. And I started working on a little bear construction area. A couple of toy bears just working on a cute little project with like flowers and like house models and stuff. And then I think this pond over here is just gonna have a bunch of these fire flowers around it. And then once again, you can see kind of a few open tiles like around Nibble's house over here too. And then we're just getting up to the area that we'll be working on today. Now, this is located just next to my Nook's Cranny. I'll give you a quick little tour. So if you go down the incline here, this is my resident services, very close to my entrance as well. And then this is the neighborhood that we had worked on before. So it's actually quite close to that section. And then I have recently, or like a few weeks ago, but pretty recently, done like the Nook's Cranny, which I think is mostly done. I'm actually not sure if this is 100% complete, but it is a good old box core build, but like Kidcore style. And then just off to the side, we've got a bunch of weeds growing here. And then we have this open section. And I've actually had an idea here for quite some time. So I'm excited to finally work on it and to sort of, bring that last major open space sort of closer to being done. And I think there's one specific build that, almost every Kidcore island needs, and that is a school, because the kiddos living on this island need to actually learn something. So I really wanted to add a school as well. And yeah, we're just facing a couple of struggles, I want to say. First of all, my biggest struggle on this island has been, well, I guess the Kidcore itself, but apart from that, the color scheme, because not everything in this game actually comes in mint or orange or yellow. Yellow is quite a common color, but I'm more specifically, or I try to focus a lot on mint as well whenever I can. And as for the typical school items, I found that not a lot of them come in a mint color. So it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, I think. But I do have some sort of plan at least. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do my best, and we'll see how it goes. Now, obviously we have a sort of limited space here. We do have just the beach over here, but I don't think I'm gonna be decorating that much or at all, perhaps. And I also have one special thing going on, which is the cinema all the way over there, which I kind of don't want to block because I kind of find this view here to be quite cute. So I think we're gonna have to sort of accommodate all of that. And then I was thinking, a lot of schools that I've seen, like on Pinterest or YouTube and stuff, are most of the time like set up in a very similar way where you'll have like the chalkboard just like up ahead. I have kind of picked some of these things up. I think we're gonna maybe try with this one because it's the most like orangey looking one. So I'm gonna grab this, and then we can maybe add some like smaller ones in addition, but we'll return for that. I might also use fences, but the other thing there we go. The other thing I was thinking about was bookshelves, and I'm probably gonna have to customize these. Now, I want to try this a little bit differently, and instead of setting it up so the board would be like over here, kind of like the cinema is built up, right? And then the chairs would all be like facing backwards. I think what I want to do is I want to set up the chalkboard so it's kind of on the side here, so everyone faces like sideways. And like, I'm not the first one to do that either. I feel like I actually visited an island once where there was like a rooftop sort of school setup and everything was kind of sideways. But at least when I first pictured it, I most of the time thought of like back-facing chairs. So I want to try a slightly different approach, mainly because I don't want to block my cinema. Now, with every other build so far that I've done, I've basically given them all little, floor patterns. Like here, I used the in-game path and these flowers on top. Here, I used the tiles and some cardboard box, which I think is going to be very close to what I do for the school as well. Here, I've used these tiles that I attempted to do myself. I'm not 100% sold or like certain if they're going to stay this way or if I'm going to change them, but I technically made those myself. I used a bunch of the tiles and cardboard here, and then here I did like a very much like patchwork sort of thing, so it's like everything mixed, I guess. I do have a few cardboard prints, and I think for a school, honestly, that would kind of make sense. But the problem is that I've already used a bunch of the cardboard for Nook's Cranny. See here, I used a lot of the gray like tiles and just kind of added some fabric codes in between to kind of loosen it up a bit and add some of the colors that we need. Here I've also like, I guess I've used like a patchwork sort of, but some of the tiles also. But yeah, I think cardboard would be nice, but I've used cardboard exclusively pretty much, I think, for Nook's Crannies. So I think I can't fully do that. Like here, you know, like all of this is cardboard. So I think what I'm gonna do maybe is maybe like mostly cardboard, but then kind of some tiles in between. Now, I think maybe I'll attempt to do this without any in-game pathing. And then maybe before I actually put down all of those codes, I'm gonna have to figure out where to place the chalkboard, because there's a couple of thoughts in my head right now. So of course we've got the chalkboard itself. Now we could just set it like all the way to the edge almost, right? So it kind of goes like this, but then it seems very like thin here. I feel like that looks really odd against the sky. So I think we're gonna have to pull it a little bit to the front. And then one of the options would be that we leave enough room for trees. Although I kind of worry that that's going to look awkward. So my other idea would be to do bookshelves. And these will give us a little bit of a thicker kind of, like backdrop, I think. If we put them all across the edge and like all the way behind the chalkboard kind of, right? We could even push them a bit closer, which I think we should do if we have the space, right? So first of all, it's going to give us a little bit more, I guess, meat to work with, if you want to say that. But also it's going to have the nice addition of the actual books if you kind of just like stand here, for example, right? Which I think is actually really nice. Plus it does have some like yellow in it. It does have some like minty looking green and some blue. So I think this is actually probably the best idea. I have 5 bookshelves, 3 of them in white. So I'm actually going to go ahead and customize the other right away because I'm definitely going to be using the white one. I've added a little bit of white to the color scheme as well. Once I noticed that I was having some troubles like finding, oh, see, this one has a few orange and yellow tints also, but maybe I quite like this one. But yeah, at some point I noticed I was having like trouble finding like a path and like except for the road path, and just like flower wise I was kind of having some trouble, so I decided to add white to like the entire thing too, and it's been quite nice because it's given me like a few more options. Now you can already tell this island is gonna lag a lot, but that's okay. That's we're gonna have to stomach that. Now this would be directly behind it, right? And then this would be, oh, we could do overlapping. Okay, I hadn't considered that before, but that would not be the worst idea either, is to do like overlapping bookshelves, right? It would kind of be like this. Although we could also sort of, maybe we can actually work with just the 5. So then it would be like this, and then there would be like an additional bookshelf behind the chalkboard, and then like 1 extra on both sides, I think. Now, do I want this entire part to be centered all across like the available space, right? So like we take this length here and we actually center the chalkboard. Honestly, I do not think we have to do that. I feel like that would maybe make it a bit extreme, but I do think this needs to go a bit lower because we have some more space towards the bottom that I don't think we're going to use for anything else. But then, you know, we might not have all that space towards the top part. Actually, maybe 1 more. Should I keep it on a full tile? Where's my full tile? Oh yeah, okay, we are right on track with that. Oh, I accidentally spoke to Sasha. Yay, are you out for a walk? No, I'm actually very busy. I want to chat, I guess. I wonder if something fun will happen today. It could, any old second, any time now. I'm so excited. Their dialogue is fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, those moments I understand why people say like we need more personality. That makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's push this a bit closer to the bottom bit here. Like maybe this is better, you know? Maybe this is better, and then perhaps we push it all the way towards the side there. Yes. Okay. So, it would be here. So the chalkboards are 2 each. So if I want to push one of the bookshelves directly in the center, then this one would be like that. And then it would get 1 additional one right there. So that would be kind of the lineup, only it would be pushed towards the edge there, which actually comes in sort of handy because I think this, well, this could be a tree then, right? Which now has me thinking maybe it shouldn't be pushed to the edge. Or should the chalkboard be like embedded? So like this moves inwards. That will maybe be a bit awkward. I think that would be a cool look if you actually looked at the entire thing. But in my case, because you only see it from the side, I think what you'd have to do is you'd have to push it even further so there's like no gap. Right, like that could work, I guess. A couple of item tests here before we actually lock in. Oh, I suppose this actually looks kind of nice. Well, now I don't know. It's always kind of the same issue, right? Have like a plan, I go in and I have a plan, and then that plan kind of goes out the window. Okay, but then there would be additional shelving just behind this too. And we'd have to like double layer the bookshelves. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my god, stop squeezing through. There we go. Right. Okay, Sasha, I know you're excited about this, but please don't get on my nerves. Now, does this solve any issues in comparison to like what issues does it create? Like, what am I actually getting out of the fact that I'm, I guess, adding more bookshelves? I'm gonna have to pick more up. These aren't things that you can order, so that's gonna be a little bit annoying, but manageable. Looks wise, I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. Let me go back to the way that I wanted to do it first and just kind of put the bookshelf next to this. Because, I mean, you see the books way better like this. Is it just because I could put, like, a tree and then it would, like, center or layer perfectly with... Because this is the first tree, right? If I pull this forward, then that would more nicely kind of hide that edge, I guess. That'd be, like, one of the things I'd get out of this. But then again, I feel like, you know, we don't need to necessarily be doing that. Like, that part... is actually so far off to the side that you're not gonna see this from like the bottom layer, right? So we don't have to worry about how this actually looks from here, because I have attempted to kind of block this entire part off. So you can't go here. I do not think you can go here. Like, this is the most that you can see of it, right? If you go in between the trees, you're not gonna be able to go to the beach. At least I tried my best. Honestly, there might be some room. But even down here, double flower. Even down here, I've like decorated the beach. Let me just spread a little see-through tile here so that we don't have the same issue like occurring again. Here we go. And then over here, you know, the beach is kind of just like blocked off. So you're not gonna be able to walk up there either. So... we don't need to really worry about it. I just remembered there was this flower here that also spawned, and I did not add a transparent tile. So let me just fix that real quick. There we go. So this doesn't spread anymore. We could honestly just have like some tables along this edge here and then just use it, or like lockers or something, right? And just use it as like extra surface for the students to put stuff on. And then we could also just have one additional bookshelf, or like do a lower something. Or we do, like, we move everything like a tile forward. It doesn't have to go further than this, does it? So everything just moves one tile forward. And then we'd have like one additional line here where we can like place things. We still couldn't really plant trees though. So honestly, I don't think it's worth it. You know what? Let's just go and do it. I'm gonna go and take, should I start with the tiles or should I start with the cardboard? Maybe I'll start with cardboard. And I'll always do like a few, I guess, like clusters of the cardboard. Maybe like this here. And then just like down here. Should I try and do this all the way? Should this just be like completely covered? Honestly, we could try and see what that looks like. If I don't, I can plant some stuff, which is oftentimes really nice. Like if you can just at least plant a couple of flowers or like a little tiny tree. But the good thing about Kidcore is you can still do all that stuff anyways. Like it doesn't matter. There's no rules in my opinion. So we could also just add those regardless, and then also carve out some of these slots later on for some like extra trees and extra greenery. I'm gonna leave like the board where it is right now so that I can find the position again easily. And then we're gonna work on putting down the bookshelves in a second there. Yeah, so there's a little bit of cardboard like spread across all the space, and now I'm gonna take this here. This is kind of the same, I think the same creator code. All the codes are on my website. I'm gonna link that in the description box, but it's essentially just sparksby.com. And then if you search, like if you go on to islands and then sorbet, and then, you know, custom designs, then you should be able to get there. Hopefully by the time that you check, it'll also be updated already, and it'll have like the final code rendition, because I'm not gonna have to find any more codes soon. I'm gonna be done with this island, which I'm actually I'm very much looking forward to that. It was fun to like try out Kidcore at least once, and just to, I don't know, be able to say like I did it. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there will be another Kidcore island in my future. Fun fact, back when I first started playing Animal Crossing, my first island was a Plancore island, right? And then I started content creation at some point with that island. And then to celebrate like a milestone that I reached, I actually I bought myself my second Switch. And the first extra theme, I guess, that I wanted to do at the time was actually a Kidcore island. I think it was because on my Plancore island, I actually worked a lot with custom designs. And I did, like, for example, what you see here on the bridge with these like in-game stripes and then a bunch of the custom designs on top. I did a lot of that stuff on that island, and I had like a lot of fun with it. Just like being very creative and not necessarily following many rules, I guess. And I genuinely really liked that a lot. And then I thought I was gonna really like the Kidcore vibe of it too, because I feel like Kidcore is also that stuff where, you know, you don't have a lot of rules. You put stuff wherever, you combine like whatever items you want, and a lot of it looks really nice because it is supposed to be a little bit messy, I think. Or I mean, it could be. I do think you can also do like a more minimalist version of Kidcore probably. But at least what I wanted to do, it was very much this like messy, kind of barely any rules sort of thing. So I thought it was gonna work really well once I did it, but that first island actually didn't work out. Although I think at that point there were too many other ideas that kept like bubbling up, and so I think at some point I just like abandoned it. And maybe it would have worked out, but then yeah, this one here, I mean, well, sort of same thing. I had like other ideas, and then those just kind of took priority for me, but probably also because they were just more fun for me to decorate. And now I feel like we have a perfect movie playing right now, by the way. little movie about fruits that seems very color matched. Can I say that? Yeah, health. I think it said health, so it's like fruits that are working out. Love that for them. But yeah, I think Kidcore is too free somehow, where like, I don't know, I like storylines. I like, you know, just having things rooted in like a reason, or I was gonna say in realism, but that's also not necessarily true, because I like a good yeah, like fantasy storyline for like Animal Crossing Islands too, although I'm not sure I'm the best at decorating when it comes to that. But I think apart from that, I like a good bit of like realism maybe. Also with like islands that were inspired by like movies and TV shows that I've done before. I always had a ton of fun, you know, building on those. And with this, it's just, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of options I have when it comes to placing down furniture, if that makes sense. Like that's been like one of the major problems. Okay, so this is pretty much where the chalkboard would be, right? This here. Because then if I've got the first one down, then I can just kind of work on the rest of the stuff. And now I'm gonna go in. I've got a bunch of cardboard, right? I've got like randomly spaced out, but like these little clusters of cardboard. And then I'm gonna fill everything else in with this multi like tile design. Although, coming to think of it, I don't think I have too many options for like mint colored chairs and tables and accessories. So I might have to add a little bit more mint colored things on the floor as well, so that I get a little bit of that color in into the area generally. Okay, so this is kind of the centered sort of, I think this is correct, right? It's like 4 tiles chalkboard, and then there's like one of the bookshelves right in the center, and then one on each side. I think so. I think we're good. Okay, and I'm gonna place the rest of these down from my phone just because somehow I feel like that's faster. I don't know if it is. A lot of times when I just need to spread like a whole bunch of the same things, I feel like this works really well. And then I also find myself, you know, wiping away codes again. If I use like the designer tool and I actually try and place it like each design by hand, oftentimes I'll just wipe stuff away or wipe over the wrong code, and then I get frustrated. So I think doing it via phone kind of keeps that entire thing to a minimum if possible, even though it does take some getting used to, I find, especially kind of the order in which it places everything. But I think at this point, more or less, I've gotten it down, so we're sort of good to go. Okay, I'm not mad about it though. I think this is kind of a good way to start. I can tell it's already starting to like stutter a little bit though. But you know, I'm not surprised because the island is quite laggy in certain areas, I think. Okay, maybe let me get this here down, because then I think I can place my last 1 or 2 bookshelves, I think it was. And then we've got the main focus piece that all the furniture will be pointed at, essentially. We've got that down, which is good. Oh, wait. Gotta pull that back a bit. There we go. Are there some ants crawling around? Yeah. That's really annoying because I drop like candy everywhere, right? So there's like so many ants. I wonder if they show up in the dream address. We're actually watching a movie about working out now. That's fantastic. I don't think they do though. I think the ants maybe might not be in a DA. Okay, I've got some more tiles to place down, and then perhaps, I mean, I have this here, this like blanket design, but it has like a sort of tile pattern too. So that makes me think it might be too like wild here. Like I feel like there's already a whole bunch going on the floor. So I may be leaning towards this flower here, just adding that one every once in a while. Yeah, because I have this one, but it's also like a checkered print. This is once again a lot of orange. And then I don't think I want to use my tiles. They're not the best. I just wanted to finally do something a bit different for like the laundry area. And so I was looking for some like mint colored tiles, but I couldn't really find any. So yeah, I tried to make them myself, but I'm not really good at it. There's like some very, very talented pixel artists who've made incredible custom designs, like the ones I'm using, honestly. Like, this island would be nothing without custom designs, if I'm honest. But I don't think I'll be joining the ranks of talented custom design artists, I think. So, yeah. Which is unfortunate, because like if you're really good at that, and if you have fun doing that, like you can do such creative and unique islands with like never before seen custom designs. It's really really impressive. All right, I think that is the area covered with custom designs. There we go. That is quite a bit. Now, I am thinking, I have one more bookshelf, right? I am thinking we could probably use the peninsula down here just to add some trees and give it like a little bit of depth like that, you know? I think that is something we could do. We could certainly add one down here or just add like other items too. Let me try what that would look like if I actually, hold on, I need to, oh yeah, no, I was using the path, never mind. I need to use the path tool. And then I just want to add, well, I don't know, just some random flowers, right? Because these definitely add some more of that mint or like teal. It's like kind of weird because it's like mint, but also teal. But also like sometimes more like a turquoise, honestly. It's a whole bunch of different shades. I keep calling it mint because I call it like a mint and orange Kidcore, so it'd be weird. Like this is more of a green, but so it'd be weird if I said it was green. But you get the idea. I think, you know, the main path is quite a nice mint, right? I think so. Okay. All right, perhaps like this. Let me add one more. Or maybe here. Yeah, maybe there is better, because then otherwise it would have been like 3 of the same flower in a row. And then maybe just like this one here. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. That seems a little bit better. Okay. So we've got our chalkboard, we've got our bookshelves. I would also honestly be open to just placing one more bookshelf. Definitely like down here. Not sure about up here. This could also be fine. I definitely doubt that I have the recipe though. If I have the recipe, then I should be able to order books. Yeah, but I don't. I barely have any recipes. Okay, I just gotta make sure I write those things down. Okay, and now it basically comes down to getting items for a school. So let's go through the stuff that I have in my storage, and then we can always still kind of look for other things. Now, I do have one singular school chair, which is fantastic. But I think, you know, in terms of the mint color or the green, it might be best to like use different stuff anyways. Perhaps we could get away with like some like mint-ish colored tables towards the front. Oh, but I did pick up a couple of school desks, so I think I was gonna use these. I do have a study desk. I do have the sturdy office desk, which this might be good for like the teacher's desk. I wanna look at all of these colors, if I'm honest, and then make a decision from there. I'm gonna grab the vintage desk with me. Oh, the vintage dresser might be good. I also think the magazine rack is a nice color. That could work. Now there's a lot of stuff here that I don't think I'll be using. Oh, I haven't used the soft surf lamp. I think maybe I did once, but I think this would be a good opportunity. Lots of paper will of course be added. We've got more chalkboards. Let's try them maybe. Let's try like one of them at least. And yeah, like toys and stuff obviously can work too. I have so much stuff still on this island. You can really tell that for like a lot of this island, I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I just grabbed so much stuff from like a treasure island or like from multiple, obviously, like multiple treasure islands, and kind of just like, yeah, just didn't use a lot of it, if I'm honest. Yeah, let's also grab like these two because I want to see them towards the front. The project table could also work. And then I've used like the counter table in like white a couple of times, but I think once again, we already have a bunch of white in this section, and I think that's going to continue. So we need to try and work in a couple of other colors. Mainly mint. Wow, okay, this is a sturdy desk. Oh, this might be too sturdy. That honestly seems a little bit massive. Okay, well, let's see the school desks. Ooh, that's good. I can at least have them like this so that you can see the little bag hanging. Because like the chairs would be here, which is where it's like open and you can put your like pens and stuff. Okay, so that would be option 1. Option 2. And option number 3. Right. At the same time, do you have to choose? Question mark? Now, I think maybe this one here is too dark. If I look at it in like comparison to kind of the shades of yellow and orange that I've used before, maybe this one here is too much. But I think the other two, we could probably get away with mixing them. Again, we've got Kidcore, right? So we can do a little bit of chaos. But I am gonna say I would like for this to be like a little bit of the repetitiveness of the same tables and kind of set up in like a symmetrical style, so you still get like that school vibe. I think we need to put them closer to the chalkboard, perhaps like this. And then I wanted to try the other like tables. We got the vintage desk, the nice kind of project table also. Ooh, the dresser is really tall. Okay, that's good to know. The magazine rack, honestly, I could see kind of up against, if it looks decent enough, I can see it like up against this here or like in the back. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna plop that here maybe. Ooh, or perhaps the dresser could also go here. Yeah, the magazine rack is a nice touch though. I like that. The ranch tea table was an option. The ranch tea table might be nice. Also, I'm pretty sure... Oh, look at Nibble's outfit. She's got herself so cute and fancy going out for a shopping spree in her little watermelon dress. If I'm not mistaken, then the ranch tea table actually also does line up with each other, meaning if you place like multiple of these together, then they kind of like create like a solid surface, which in this case might be really nice. And I like that it just kind of barely is, or it basically is the same level as like the top of the fence. I think the low table here might be too low. I think, you know, items might get a little bit lost, but in comparison, if I place like some, I don't know, some crafting materials or something like on this one here, then it's gonna really nicely show up. So I'm actually a big fan of that. I kind of don't want to give up on the vintage dresser just yet, just because it is such a nice shade of like mint or teal or whatever. It doesn't seem perfect though. Okay, this is 2 tiles. 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 4 tables. And then I'd have 1 tile left over in which we could just do something else. I don't know. Or we obviously push it in like this. And then it would kind of just like end with the bookshelf that I still kind of want to add there. Okay, let's try the dresser up here. If that's just kind of up against the bookshelf like this. Yeah, that might be better. Now we can probably put a little item here. I'm seeing like maybe the mop. And then this is kind of where all the students would put their like little crafting supplies or something, right? That could work, I think. Okay. I am willing to work with that up there. And then the tea table definitely, oh, you know what? Also, I found this bag earlier and I think, yeah, that's gonna be needed here in the school. Okay, so far so good. Now, how many tables do we actually want to add? I'm thinking don't know how I want to line them up either. Is this good? Like, is this good as the distance to kind of the chalkboard, or is this too close? Okay, and then this would like be perfectly centered with the school board. And then we could have one more here, like one person space in between, right? So you can like decently walk, aka place items, which might be the more important thing. Okay, let's get the rest of the tables that I have. And then figure out what type of chairs I want to add. Because... So here's the school desks. Because I obviously could just get the matching chairs. We could do that. But we could also work with, yeah, just some more fun options. We could do Zen cushions, which we can customize. So these could actually be mint colored. I think the block stools might work as well. The boxy stool, I'm actually not certain if I like that vibe for like the school. Wooden stool kind of more, perhaps. And then, I mean, the froggy chair could work. The baby chair could work. Or we actually work with like stuff like here. And I mean, like the ranch chair would work with the like the tea tables. And then there's the basic school chair. A lot of these don't actually come in mint though, which I think is kind of my reservation there. Like that's why I'm not too thrilled. I want to have some colored options that work, but also as long as you can like put someone, like if you can put another item on there, we also might be okay, because then I can add some bears. I can add some dreamy bear toys and add our mint color through that. Oh my god, we can definitely have like, yeah, we can definitely have like a globe and a bottled chip. And like the modeling clay is great. The painting set is great. We can have a hamster, like a classroom hamster, right? Yeah. That's really nice. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just grabbing stuff before I'm actually ready to really implement them. But it's okay. And then here's a bunch of like books and materials and stuff. Okay, but first the chairs. The tables and the chairs. I am so scared of the lag here. It's gonna be really brutal, I think, but it's gonna be fine. I wanna get the rest of this vision like across, and then, you know, I'm gonna move on and it's gonna be okay. We're gonna have something else to work on soon, I think. Okay, just to have my distance down, there'd be a chair, and then there could be one person space again in between the next table, but then I definitely think we can only get like 2 rows of tables, right? Which honestly might be enough. So that would kind of be the lineup, right? Other option would be that we can push it like a little bit closer together so that you can only walk between them like this, but not like this. Because you can't squeeze outside, unfortunately. It's all very bright over here. Okay. I think I like this a little bit better when it comes to the distance, but then perhaps we can actually push everything a little bit further in direction of the street again. Kind of like this here and this here, right? And then I don't know if I'm a big fan of the Zen cushions. Plus, you should probably go like in the center here. And then I'll order 2 more of like the... Actually, wait, just 1. I should have 1 more somewhere, right? Yeah, there we go, school desk. I'm gonna have to order 1 more of these for sure. But then perhaps it's fine. Like if this is gonna be like another desk. Okay, and then let's look at the chair options. So we've already briefly seen the Zen cushions. which honestly, I mean, in this color, they're quite scarring, but honestly might be nice. The block stool I don't like as much as I thought I would. At the same time, though, let me combine it with a bear and see how that looks, because that might be nicer. It's not my favorite. It is not my favorite. Okay, next option would be just a regular wooden stool. I mean, I think you can never go wrong with these, and you can also put a custom design on top of them so you can make them a little bit more mint colored, which is good. Not all of them have to be the same, by the way, right? Like, they can obviously be very, very different. And then the ranch chair isn't terrible either. And you could, well, you couldn't put a bear on them, but maybe mixing and matching is the way to go. And then here's like the basic school chair, which maybe this one is like the teacher's chair. You still need a desk for the teacher, by the way. That would be like here. Don't know if I like the Zen cushion. I'm like split halfway between wanting to just give all of them like wooden stools or like mixing everything. Here's our hamster. Here's some modeling clay. Oh wait, can I place them the other way around so that you see the dinosaur some more? That's cute. Okay, this is good though. This already adds like the needed like color, right? I think maybe that way we can kind of get away with it. And then I'm thinking the sea globe and stuff would be more like decorations up here. We like the bottled chip. And then... wait, I've got an idea for the bottled chip. The sea globe would go here. And then the bottled chip I'll place from this way around so that you see it a little bit better. Question mark? Do you see it better? Oh yeah, I think actually that's kind of nice. We'll see if they both stay on the same, or if maybe we move the globe. Maybe we can move the globe towards the section in the bottom. It's kind of also, maybe not directly next to the hamster, but these are like the classroom pets. I feel like that's a thing sometimes, right? That there's like the classroom pets and then everyone kind of learns to take care of them and everything. I think so. I think so. Question mark. Okay, wooden stool, pile of Zen cushions. I want to try the ranch chair again. It looks a little too, it looks like too grown up, you know? Like it doesn't look chaotic enough, I think. Here's the wooden stool. That might be too chaotic. That's the problem. Because technically it cannot be chaotic enough. But then I sometimes think that it is. Because like I also have containers, like the throwback containers. We could do cardboard boxes. I don't have any more bottle crates, but we could also do like bottle crates. If the Zen cushions are too much, then maybe we can do like a single Zen cushion with a regular cushion on top, you know? Like there are some different options. There's the vintage stool. Let me check for a desk for our teacher. I felt like the sturdy office desk, that was a lot. That was honestly a lot, but it does need to have some type of like study desk vibes. I'm not even sure what other options there are, if I'm honest. Might have to look it up and just like order some others that I don't currently have. The sloppy table also kind of intrigues me just because of like the mess that's on top of it, but I think it'll be too like blue actually. And then the sturdy office desk we can try again. The vintage desk might also be interesting. The problem here is that it's gonna be very close to kind of the vintage, the ranch tea tables, which all already kind of look the same. Yeah? Oh. It looks better if you place it like this, and we need to place it like that. That is so massive. I don't like this. This is honestly, this is too much. Yeah, see, because the sloppy table is nice. Like the size of it is pretty decent, and then the mess that's underneath is actually kind of nice. Okay, the sloppy table does come in white, and the kind of the wastebasket, the like bin, seems to be yellow in that case, so that would work. So I could just get it like customized and then it would like fit the aesthetic. I'm not super sold on the position of this. I actually want to maybe try it up here. But like it would be this way around, right? Like the teacher would sit so that they're facing the students. I'm not wrong about that, right? So it kind of would be there. Oh, but see, I missed the magazine rack. That was really nice there. I like that. Yeah, that's like a decent item. One thing I got previously that I haven't... Wait, I've got another school desk here? Is that the wrong one? Wait. No, I had 3 of each type. I just didn't see this. Okay. Well, there goes my need to order some new stuff at least. So I've got that done. Right. And then I had the throwback container because that could technically be a chair. Because why not? In like the more mint version. Okay, not horrible, but this could also generally be like in the school, just as like a fun container for stuff. All right, and then I had a Zen cushion with like a cushion on top. Like not as massive, I think. And I also had the cardboard box for potential chair. And I did also have the little vintage stool. This is quite small though. That might be too small. Unless I kind of try to space out the like similar shapes of chairs. So like the cardboard box would like go here, for example, if we've got the cushion sort of there, because it's a bit more boxy, right? And then the vintage stool would kind of go here. And then this could be pulled towards the center. Or maybe just one wooden stool. And then we're gonna need like 2 other types of chairs. The basic school chair. Okay, let me plop down the sloppy table and the chair again, just so, you know, we don't forget their existence. Or is the sloppy table like too small now? Like also with that type of chair maybe, does it look off? Maybe the chair is the problem. Okay, this way you see the magazines, which I don't mind. That's actually quite nice. You do have to squeeze through this part, but that's honestly fine for me. We're gonna need a little bit of... I think we're gonna need some nature in this because it's just a little bit, it's a little bit too messy. I always like trees because they calm an area down almost. You know, like even here, I've just added these little trees in between. So there's always this like blob of green and it kind of draws your eyes there and it just kind of calms the entire space down a bit, which means, you know, I'd probably have one here and I'd also probably have one like here, just towards like the sides, just to frame it like that. And then I do also think we'd have one back here. But, you know, keeping in mind that we don't want to cover the cinema too much. And then maybe we could do like a little bit more here on this side. Because I think this side doesn't cover too much of the cinema, right? Like if we have something here, perhaps there, and either where the fruit thing is or a tile further back. Probably say tile further back. We might also just go here instead. Here and here. Right? Like these all would be tree spots perhaps. Let's bring this back as just a regular tile. I'll also dig some holes in the rest of the spots so I can kind of see them a little bit better in the overview. Otherwise the green kind of just like disappears. Okay, and then perhaps from here, you know, I can better determine like things that might still kind of annoy me a little bit or like that don't seem right just yet. Okay, now I definitely would think that we push the chair further up like that then. I don't think you can now walk through this, but that's all right with me. Honestly might look better for just the teacher's like chair and table combo if it's like pushed up like this. Yeah, with like a white table. And then sometimes teachers sit in like a funny way so that there's like sideways or something. I don't know, probably not. Probably not. It depends a bit on the tree. I feel like the tree here might block too much, but I still want to try it because I think it'll just look good for the general kind of area. We're gonna need some more tables here, so let me make sure to order those. 2, 4, 6. So that was 3 more tables, I think, right? I'm gonna actually search for ranch. I feel like that's gonna be the fastest way. There we go. Ranch tea table in green. We're gonna get 3 of these. And then before I order anything else, let me think. Okay, so the trees, we need 2 more chairs. Preferably something a bit more boxy and something a bit more round. Oh, right, the chalkboard. I don't think we have room for the chalkboard anymore now. Right, and we still had some Zen cushions, and then I also still have that throwback container, so I want to try that again. Moroccan footrest might be something more round, or the simple stool. Both of those could work. And then something boxy, honestly, I want to kind of try... If the color looks fine, I think I maybe want to try a bottle crate. And I did just place one earlier on one of these construction scaffolding, so I might just grab that one. Yeah, because this isn't final either, so this is okay. You know? And then, well, the bottle crate would go here. But so this should definitely be something more teal colored. So either the teal or like mint or whatever. It's so hard to talk about this color. Either this one here. Or instead, the simple stool. Would it make sense to maybe switch the vintage stool with the wooden stool? Or the throwback container would also work instead of the bottle crate. The bottle crate looks like that would be so uncomfortable. I mean, it definitely 100% is. It definitely is. Okay, this one, but then like teal. And maybe just like this. It's like a little train. And then let's match, let's swap these around. Yeah, I think this is better. I did have a painting set still, I think. Which could probably be customized so that they're actually making something mint, maybe. We still have these two to customize. I kind of actually like the yellow here now. I just feel like perhaps we can move the clay set over. Maybe the yellow clay set goes here. The modeling clay. Okay, and then let's think. I want to see the Zen cushion maybe with the orange flower. Like this one here, and then the other one gets this one on top. Let's try that. Although these also would be good patterns for the students to like paint, honestly. Because it's like, you know, it's just like a nice flower. Let's see that. And then the wooden stool. Is like orange. I feel like I need, once again, I feel like maybe the custom design seemed like a bit repetitive, but once again, I think we just need a little bit more of that color in the space. So maybe this is just the way to go. Okay, I want to keep this, but this over here like cherry wood because it seems a bit orange, which is nice. And then perhaps we can just put, we can put this one here, which is a bit of a wild combination, but that's fine. And then I just had the idea, maybe the duck on like the painting set, some very talented drawing going on. But I haven't used that design in many spaces and it would be really adorable. So maybe we can do that. Okay, so we've got the painting set here. Right. And then this was the wooden stool. And this here was the Zen cushion. with the cushion then on top. And then it just kind of gets maybe pointed to a different direction. That would sort of be fine for me, I think. And then we can still have like some students in the class also, right? We can definitely have a bear back here. So one like this. There we go. I think a bear on the vintage stool might look, again, just proportion-wise, a little bit off. Oh wait, actually, that's not the worst. That's actually not the worst. That makes me kind of want to maybe put the bear here. Because we cannot put anyone on these cushions here, right? Because, you know, they're like combined. Should this be the Zen cushion? Am I making too much of a drama out of like the height of the Zen cushion? Because if we do the pile of Zen cushions, then we can put someone on top. Yeah, maybe it's fine. Maybe we can use this somewhere else. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna go for... maybe still the flower. I think maybe still the flower. And then I'm gonna put the other bear here. But we also have toy ducks, and we have, maybe let's do something orange also. Maybe the rabbit in orange, the unicorn, and mom's plushie. I think this will be probably a good combination of different students, right? I want to see the pop-up book. And then maybe we can grab some other random stuff. I also need to order more fire flowers for sure. For just my lake, right? The dye would be nice. I mean, one of the students could definitely do a puzzle. The model kits or like, I don't know, just like any of these toys honestly would work. The water bird might be fun on the teacher's desk. Which we have to customize. Oh my god, this is so big. That is such a big item too. Okay, would this be better back there with the ship in a bottle maybe? Oh, you can't, now you can't interact with it. I see the problem. Okay, it's also maybe a little bit too pink. I've been very adamant in not adding pink because a lot of times mint is actually combined with pink, which I get because they look quite nice together, but I'm trying to like stay away from that. So, you know, okay, perhaps the toy duck goes here. Toy duck working on some clay. I also actually still have some gyroids, by the way. Those could also be students. I've really honestly forgotten about them a lot on this island though. So now I'm like, should I add them now or is it too late? Okay, what does the pop-up book do? Oh wow, a lion. Okay. Okay, the die definitely works. And I think a puzzle makes sense. And there's probably some books I can just put on like the tables, right? I can also put some snacks. I think those always kind of work for like a classroom. A switch case would also be fine. Yeah, here's some books, maybe. Either like a scrapbook or maybe like the book with the butterflies. The scrapbooks I don't think work with the color either, but not sure. Probably got them at some point to check, and then I never really did because I always like grabbed other stuff instead. Okay. Okay, let's customize the puzzle and make it, I mean, the duck would once again look cute. Sometimes for like these things where it doesn't perfectly fit onto the item that you want to customize, like it's not a square design, it would be the extra step to just like be able to move around the design. You know what I mean? Like just drag it. So you can either just use like the top or the bottom of it, whichever works better. Because then I could just like do these little bears here, you know, with the bike rent. I haven't used these here anywhere, I think. I don't know if I want to start now. It could just be like a pattern. It could maybe be one of these patterns too. Is there anything here that would work? Pineapples. Little boats? Oh, these could work. That would be, a puzzle with a puzzle. The boats could work just like how they look, but that would not be a fun puzzle. Okay, I want to see that though. All right. So, who would do the puzzle? What else did I get? All right, an open book, which is more like yellow. So I think I want to not give it to this person here. Okay, unfinished puzzle. There we go. Maybe you have the book. There we go. Book about butterflies. Oh yeah, and then maybe you're playing, or you're getting some snacks. Honestly, I like the snack idea, perhaps. Yeah, you could also be getting the Animal Crossing carrying case. Yeah, no, snacks it is. Snacks it is for you. Okay, now let me empty my pockets because I'm starting to kind of lose sight of the things I still have or the things I still want to incorporate. So everything goes into storage and then we'll pick out some new stuff. Now, one item I have been thinking about is the mop. I want to pick that up if I can find it. I can probably place around a couple of boxes at some point too, although maybe not the most important right now. Oh, I wanted to add this, the soft serve lamp, or like the folding floor lamps. There's the mop. I wanted to get some food for the last table. Some snacks we customize would actually make sense because it's not as flat as like the cookies, for example. And then I think I wanted to add 2 more gyroids. Oh, I've got the rabbit toy just behind it, so it might not be great for like an orange. But that one I love just the way it moves, especially if you think about like the school. This one also great because like the head explodes, right? So that one be fun. This one just dances in a cute way, so I like that a lot. And this one also like shakes their head a lot. I don't know what the Arfoid does. We might just also place a couple more around. We still have some space to cover up here too. All right, that's also where I used, oh no, I used exactly those two. I used the one with the exploding head and the Arfoid, but I must have turned them off, I think. Okay, see there's the Bendoid. That one cracks me up. It looks so not motivated. Like this is exactly how you'd expect for someone to be at school. Not necessarily if you're working on a clay design, mind you, but just generally speaking, like this is fantastic, right? Honestly, that could work for me. Maybe we don't have ducks in this classroom then, and the rest are all kind of like little gyroid students. The Wapoid is the one with the head, right? I also love that one. See, they're learning so much. That's why their head just constantly kind of gets larger. Fantastic. Okay, and then I also got the Rumbloid. That's the one that dances, right? And the Flutteroid is the one that kind of shakes their head a ton, right? This one is very loud, very hyperactive. And then the Arfoid is the one we have in the cinema too. Okay, this one kind of yaps. Maybe we need like a yellow one there instead. And we need to customize the snacks also. Oh, the Arfoid does come in yellow. Okay, so we can try that one. Or maybe the Petaloid. That one's cute also. Right, so here's the snacks. Oh, okay, I want them to be placed around like this. But then the table still needs to be the right way around. I don't know from where I need to place it then. Okay. Maybe from this side? No. Okay, no, exactly the other way. So I think I need to twist it here. Then place it. Yeah, right? That's what I wanted. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and now let's get the other Arfoid. The yellow one. Okay, I'm gonna switch them up because I feel like a yapper like this would sit front row. Right? They would just constantly talk to the teacher. They'd be like, I know the answer. Oh, wait. Maybe the mint one looks better here. And then the Thwopoid, the exploding head one, that one goes here. just like can't believe their eyes. They're like, what? Because they're too busy eating snacks, so they can't pay attention. Okay, is it maybe not enough yellow now? I think I don't love the puzzle, admittedly. I don't love the puzzle. Maybe we can give them some more paint. I think maybe like another painting set. The only other one I had was the blue one, so I'm gonna order a new one. That was a rhyme, there we go. I'm gonna order a new one in yellow. And then I think they're gonna paint some other pattern with like yellow maybe. Yeah, this here. Yeah, let's get this one. Let's get this one, and then, was there something else I wanted to order earlier? I know I want the sloppy table in white still, but that one I cannot order. I can only customize the one I have on Harf's Island because it's like a, I think this is like something you just find in your resident services like box, right? And then I think, yeah, we need to plant some trees. The mop I wanted to put here. Honestly, doesn't even show up as much as I thought it would. But like we can either just pull it out or it's like this. I think that's fine. Or we could probably move it here. I think this is good though. Yeah, it disappears too much like this. I want it to be a little bit more seen. And then for a lot of the areas I've created, I've also like introduced some fencing. Kind of like here, I've kind of used this like park fence. A lot of times I've also used the iron fence, but I do use that one already when it comes to the bridge here. I haven't done one here just yet. And then I think, well, here I've done hedge because it's kind of this like residential area. And then here I've used the iron fencing because it's more this like general, like publicly available to use space. That made no sense, but hopefully you know what I mean. I don't know what type of vibe we want for the school. Like I think the entrance here would work maybe with the park fence. I definitely want like a fence back here because I think that would be nice to kind of have that cinema frame, right? So I think I want to get maybe some fence. Yeah, we're gonna get some fence and then we're gonna plant some trees, and then I think we need to get the few items that we ordered. Right. I also do have some wooden fencing. I feel like color-wise we're maybe a little bit limited here because it doesn't come in yellow, question mark. It only comes in like the basic wooden, and then it comes in like a blue, but blue is not what I want to do, so maybe wooden fence would work for like the lookout for the cinema. And then I need to also figure something out for like the open space, but honestly, I mean, we do have the box core just like a couple of steps over to the left, if I'm honest. So maybe it's weird if we have more. The school lockers, like if you're building a school, honestly, look into the little locker options they have. I was just a little bit disappointed by the like the color options, but like definitely look into those. Maybe we could do like boxes. Just a pile of different boxes like that table and stuff. Maybe they have a kid's tent? I don't know. Honestly, I feel like if I had if I had, I don't know, done this theme immediately when I was inspired for it the first time without interruptions, maybe I would have been able to do like a better job. Like, it's not that I don't think the areas I have built look good. I think they do mostly. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I've done other islands where like the entire island plan is just a little bit more thought out, which usually kind of works out really well. Like I usually then quite like the end results. And here, just also when I browse like through my inventory, I just see so many items that I was gonna use that I never actually did. And then it makes me think like, oh, I guess I had like different ideas and different thoughts back then, but then, yeah, I don't know. Okay, kids tent, I feel like maybe I don't hate, but it's also a little bit random. And I think the setup isn't gonna align nicely. Like it would have to be in like a different spot, I think. So kids tent, perhaps not. The cardboard table. Oh my god, yeah, it well, it blends in with our floor, but I mean, it probably works. And then I did bring this horizontal organizer because I thought, you know, this would make like a nice like sideboard, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe not the perfect opportunity. Yeah, maybe it's just gonna be cardboard. I'm gonna check again in a second. For now, I want to try with the fence. So our first option would be the park fence. What I love about the park fence is that it obviously very well works with our color scheme, or it is the color scheme, essentially. What I don't love about it is that it is not, like it's very see-through, you know? And then it makes everything very not calm. So I usually like to use fencing to kind of section certain areas off and get like a visual break in the entire thing. I feel like I do that, for example, with the hedge part that I showed you just up there towards the left. Or then also when like, you know, there's an entrance to another section, to like another area, it breaks like that visual in between the street and like the decorated area, which in terms of this island and Kidcore is very messy and very like all over the place. And I feel like the park fencing just doesn't really do that because it's so thin that it doesn't create like a break, but it quite the contrary, it kind of adds more chaos. Like just if you check the simple wooden fencing in comparison, that creates a very different backdrop. You know what I mean? And I guess we need to figure out what the preferred style here is. But I just don't know if I've just never used the wooden fence before on this island, so I don't know if right now would be the perfect moment. Now this one here, you know, would work sort of maybe because we have it in the bridge part, and I've also used it in a few other places, but maybe that's also why it won't work. Like maybe it would be nice to have something different to the bridge. Sideways it looks like this, or if you place like a little headpiece, it also, you know, looks like the bridge essentially. That worked but well. There we go. The wooden fence does come in white if we feel like maybe the orange is maybe a bit distracting. Yeah. This is actually not that easy. I think oftentimes just like shape-wise, I like this simple wooden fence best. But really in this case, I just don't know if it is what I want. I want to see the park fencing like here. God, it just doesn't it just doesn't look great, does it? It is so thin. And I think for this one here, I would probably bring it in from both sides. Like that. And then leave a little bit of room open in the center. Perhaps 3 or maybe just 2 tiles. Hold on, let me straighten that out. So maybe like this. Honestly, that could work. That could work. I don't know if I want the orange, or maybe if white is better, because then it kind of looks like the incline back there. And then we could obviously still shift this around. Maybe have it like that. This way. Oh wait, I thought this was maybe centered, but I think this is centered to the projection screen. I kind of liked it like this. And then I kind of want to put like a little bench in the center, so you could like sit there and also partake in the cinema. That would be actually kind of cute. I also did see another popcorn snack earlier, so let me just grab that one. And then either a lock bench or maybe a Zen bench with a custom design. And then that could be cute. That could be very cute. Let's do this here. I'm gonna say the little machine sound in the background that you hear from Nook's Cranny is a little bit annoying, by the way. I hope hasn't been too annoying to you. Just because I set my workbench up here. It's just this little arm, this grabby arm sort of thing. And then I kind of want to have a stool. A little stool. And you can put the popcorn on top. And then, you know, you can just kind of be part of the movie. Okay, that's kind of cute. I like this. I think this might be nice. Maybe the popcorn over here. That doesn't really matter, I don't think. Perhaps like a little stool. Yeah, I mean, it kind of works, doesn't it? Like, I think it's fine. The little school setup. Let me just see if I can get like a nice... Because I was picturing like this. Oh yeah, see? I was picturing this sort of angle for like taking pictures. Which I think kind of works. There is going to be another shelf, like another bookshelf just towards the bottom there. And then there's going to be a couple of trees and everything, so maybe. Speaking of trees, let's see. I think maybe we can do a cedar here and like a small hardwood. All of these are, I don't think a single one of these is going to be like fully grown because that's just going to be hiding too much. But, you know, just to get a bit of a visual break in there. Maybe cedar here? Or wait, no. Other way around. This is gonna be a hardwood. And the cedar goes towards the front. Okay. Right. I'm gonna order, I think I have one more open order. So I'm gonna get one more of those clay. Oh wait, is that a, oh, that is a custom, that is a DIY. Okay, okay, I think I still had one more. We can still make one more dinosaur. This gets the paint set. We can make one more dinosaur and just plop it somewhere here. Move the fishbowl somewhere further down the line. Add a whole bunch of books. I need to figure out what to do back here. We can also carve out a couple of these for flowers. Again, I feel like, you know, Kidcore doesn't have many rules, and I'd rather just have like a couple of details and make the area feel like fuller and more finished. Okay, the die goes here. This I'll take with me because I want to customize it. We'll have to figure something out for the teacher's lounge. I like the wooden fence. I'm still kind of debating the white. We might customize and then just try it with like one side of it. You know what? Let's do it. The way it's standing, we still have like enough for the entire thing in orange. So if we don't like it in white, then we can easily just put it back. But then maybe we can just try one of the sides in white. And then we can still think about a bit of an entrance here. I feel like it might be the iron fence. I honestly feel like it might be the iron fence, and then perhaps we don't connect it. Like maybe we stop it just before the bridge. You know, this, so it kind of starts here. Or should we start it around? Because like this is double fence, which is not great, I don't think. So this is probably better. Just a little bit of fence right here. And maybe like a little bit of fence right here. So you get like that visual entrance sort of thing. Is this the center? Yeah, so this would be symmetrical. Maybe. Okay, let's try the white here. No. Was that the tiles? I didn't check. I didn't see. Well, it will be the tiles now. Okay, we'll keep the fence like that. There we go. And then I just had an idea. Because I did grab all of those like stoplights. And I haven't used too many of them just yet. So maybe this is gonna be a moment. Right here. Little crosswalk signal, and then we can still put something like here. And then it'll maybe make like this break in the fence make sense or something. You know? Then we've got the school. I don't know what to do here. And then what do we think about the fence? Again, probably depends a little bit on like what's gonna be just in front. The white definitely is a bit calmer, and it definitely matches the incline better. Usually I feel like I'd go for the white, but maybe in this case, the Kidcore case, maybe I'd go for the orange. Okay, other option. Other, even wilder option, I think. Oh. Well, I guess this also could work, right? I wonder if I should switch it around so it goes... It goes like orange next to the street lamp? No. Okay, I don't hate the mixture. I like it more than I thought I would. Yeah, but I was thinking maybe the white next to the bench. Okay. Right. I mean, sure. Why not? And then I think, well, the sloppy table I'll need on Harp's Island. Apart from that, let me just throw the rest of my stuff into my storage. And then I'll go grab my table, my singular table, and I'll make my way to Harp's Island. And then I think just get my orders in. So... oh yeah, see there I used the crosswalk signal, which I customized. Oh my god, I remember. I customized this to have the leaf. I don't think the one I just placed has the leaf. Also customizing crosswalk signal is really expensive. All right. I like the lighting here. This is a very nice and soft, like, evening light just before it turns into the golden hour, I think. All right, Cyrus. I need your services. There we go. Just this one sloppy table. Oh, see, I can do ash brown. Yeah, you could do like a different wood also, and it might fit into kind of the like yellow or orange, but I think this is good. And then we can do different magazines, which is nice. I think I'm gonna do, I might just do like a different, you know, like blanket or something. The duck is great. I should have had this earlier. I just downloaded that the other day, so I haven't had that for long. But it is so cute. I think I maybe want to do this here. A little random, but there we go. And so with this done, I think, yeah, let's go time travel now and get those, yeah, especially those ranch tea tables, I think. Okay, here's the mailbox, very important right now. Painting set and tea tables. All right, we could have ordered one more thing. I don't know if we needed anything else, so that's fine. That is fine by me. Okay, and then let's go run back past all the things that I still have to kind of complete. Oh, look at Lily and Tad. Very cute. Okay, first things first, let's put down the customized table here, the sloppy table. Right, okay, wait, I'm gonna... That was not great. Let's try that again. Kind of like this, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, and then it's definitely gonna need some stuff on top of it because right now that white surface is also not the greatest. Here's the tea table. And I do still have the bookshelf written down, but I'm gonna have to get that from a treasure island or from one of my other islands because I currently don't have it. And I don't have the recipe either, so unfortunately can't make it either. Okay, let's bring the fish, like the sea globe, further to the front. And then the painting set. Okay, so this one was painting a duck. This one can also be like a little bit more yellow themed, I think. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe also just like a big flower. Yeah, maybe like a big flower would be cute. Let's do that. Okay, and then I've got like my tables and stuff in the front. So let's grab just a few things to put on there. And then I think I'm gonna have to take a short little break just for my own brain and brain juice and creativity juice, I guess. But you're not gonna really notice that, so. It'll probably only be like a few seconds for you. But, you know, regardless of what you're doing, remember, it is very important to take breaks sometimes. Even if, you know, they can seem a little bit inconvenient sometimes, but they are important just to, I don't know, get some motivation and energy back. So definitely make sure you remember to take enough breaks and hydrate, you know? Those are the things I tend to forget anyways. Okay, and then I think I wanted to do another modeling clay. And I definitely need some fire flowers. Which I think I can just get here, right? Yeah, let's get some of these. And then, oh yeah, first I have to customize the clay set because I wanted to have the dino a second time. And I also need to customize the magazines. Yeah, the dino is so cute. There we go. The magazines, It would have been really cool if actually one of these matched, you know, but unfortunately won't be able to do that. Do you think maybe the little leave a note sort of thing could work? I want to see if that looks weird if I place it down, if like that makes you just question it too much or if that's fine. Okay, let's try the clay here. Placed in a different like direction. I think that's okay, right? That's not too repetitive. Here's our little painting set with the big flower. Trees are starting to grow, and honestly, already I feel like you can tell what I meant with like just the visual, like the visual break and just kind of that framing of the space. At least in my opinion, I feel like trees just always make it better. Now for this one here, I'm not sure if I want just a second stage or if I want this, or like maybe just first stage. If I want this as a first stage or maybe a second stage. So I may briefly get a second stage from somewhere and test it out. Okay, recycled paper bundle. I'm gonna have to place it from the other side. Here's the magazines. Honestly, that works for me. Office materials. Maybe from the other side. You can do the paper bundle maybe here. Also from the other side. Okay, here's the office materials. Or perhaps the books need to go here and then the magazines can go further down the line, because then I can do 2 recycled paper bundles. I can do one here and then one on like the teacher's desk. Kind of like this, you know? Random Nook ink cushion. And here's the other recycled paper bundle. Is that the same way around? No. Okay, so that works. And then, ooh, I kind of want to see if I can place Like a mom's, oh, I don't remember what that's called. Okay, let's switch these around also. But like one of those pencil pen holder thingies. I want to see if I can put one of those on the teacher's desk. That would be cute. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, so the front part here just has like a whole bunch of clutter and random items that I think just work really well with like the school. Oh, mom's pen stand. This is what I was talking about. I definitely don't want to have this bright pink version though. So I'm hoping there's some cuter stuff. What is this? Fairy tale house. Okay, so there's striped, there's stone, brick. I guess this could work, right? The simple house? Otherwise, maybe we'll try the stone house, but let's see if the simple house maybe works. Or if it feels too, I know there was some blue and some pink in there, so that might kind of disrupt it, but might be fine. Yeah. Got a couple of different directions that we can try out here. So far, I kind of like the first one best. And potentially we could swap the two items around. So the books would go here. I still liked it from this side best though. Yeah. No, but you know what? I do want to put them this way around. I like seeing the little pens, I think. And I used the last of my customization kits, I think. I have like 0 in there now. Can I put something on top of the Nook ink cushion? I think one of these whoopee cushions could be funny too, just like on the floor randomly. Definitely want to go grab some scattered papers and apparently some more boxes that I just grabbed alongside. I still want to see if I can bring in like these random lamps maybe. I'm just picturing like maybe this is gonna be like art supplies, you know? Like the boxes, I mean. Like maybe this is just gonna be a whole bunch of different supplies that like the teacher just sometimes brings in, but they don't need them all the time. And then I wanted to see if I can maybe put the Nook ink cushion here with like the popcorn on top. You can. Okay, that's good. Because I don't want something super tall there. Okay, whoopee cushion. Great. And then here I brought the cardboard bed. Because, you know, that one I can put stuff on. But I can put more stuff here, and so I think that'll make it okay then. Right, or would this be a lamp, maybe? And then, like, the mop bucket moves somewhere else? This is so random. The soft serve lamp. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those things that's like too random. Like it makes no sense. But then the kids would love it, so maybe that's enough. Maybe it doesn't need to make more sense than that, right? I still need to kind of keep in mind that I need to stump most of the trees probably. I mean, I kind of like it. I can't lie. I kind of like it. Okay, let's customize the scattered papers. Maybe with the... Oh, but yeah, that's right. I forgot the customization kits. But maybe let's customize the scattered papers with those little floor patterns. Yeah, flower patterns. Sorry, not floor patterns. Customization kits. There we go. Oh, and then I just had this random idea. So I actually planted the weeds that you can see in the background there. I actually planted them there on purpose because I did this entire section for Nook's Cranny with like lots of items. Like it has so many items. And so I already knew that this was going to be laggy enough. So I remember thinking that maybe I could just make this here a bit more of a naturally looking area. Now I was just thinking if like maybe opposite of the classroom, this could be their little like garden, but just like a very natural garden. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I could plant some, I was thinking flowers, but it could also be crops. And then I could either just plant them like this, or I could actually put them on little like sand or like dirt piles so they look a bit more intentional. And then I'm just wondering, do I have like a little, like walk? Oh yeah, this here, the crosswalk. I should add a crosswalk just by the school. Yeah, because like this I can switch around. Is the crosswalk just 2 tiles wide, maybe? That would work then. So this here would be this way around, right? The crosswalk. For the school kids. And then I would just shift the little, like the middle line around a little bit so that it would be here. Oh wait, this one. And then the center pieces. And then this wouldn't be up against the path, I don't think. The crosswalk. More so we could do maybe here. And then maybe this one will be a big one and the small one move here. Just switching everything around now. Maybe that's important though. Sometimes that's important though. Sometimes just, you know, swapping stuff around to match it to kind of whatever changes you want to make is going to be the thing that really ties an area together, because otherwise, at least this happens to me, otherwise I'm going to like run past it a bunch of times, and every time I'm going to like something in my brain is going to tell me like something isn't right here. Like something about this still needs to be changed. You know, in this way, just immediately kind of do what you feel like is the correct call. Okay. We're gonna need more scattered papers. I'm terrified of the lag that this is gonna have towards the end, but it's gonna be fine. I am liking, I think, how it's turning out though, admittedly. I think like from a very rocky start, like we've gotten to a point where I feel like now, you know, you can kind of tell what it is. It's very busy, and I'm not gonna pretend that it's not. But I think that's fine. You know? I think that's fine. Okay. Now, let me grab, if I can, a second stage tree. This one here is perfect. Second stage tree. Because step 1, we're going to test out if the tree on the right-hand side here is okay as a second stage, or if this would cover too much. No, that would be nice. Okay, in my opinion anyways. So we are gonna let this grow a little bit further. Before we do though, I want to climb down here. If I can, I want to climb down here. And I want to check where I can plant trees because I know the peninsula can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Okay, but this is a possible tree spot, which is great. And then I feel like it's gonna already be hard. If this is a tree, then this potentially could also be a tree if the edge allows me. Okay, perfect. So that would be a tree. Could this here also be one? Yes. Okay, nice. So far, so good. Because then I feel like we should definitely make use of, of these 3 tree spots right there. The way I'm seeing it, perhaps we can even do, can we do one more? Because no, we can't. Because this can't be one, right? This is gonna be too close to the edge, even if this weren't one. Oh no, this can be one. Okay, should we rather have a tree there then? A tree there and one towards the back? If there's like another bookshelf. Maybe this tree here is honestly even more important. So that one just moves like here then. Okay, let's do a cedar here. Let's do maybe an orange tree here. And then you're gonna be like a regular hardwood, I think. Yeah. It's like kind of a decent sized peninsula, but I think I'm gonna ignore it, honestly. Because this is the part where like you were not gonna be able to access it and then you don't see it, right? Like unless you somehow get to it, like you're just not gonna see it, and I don't think it's gonna be worth it. Yeah. Okay, but so here I'll put back the small young hardwood. There we go. So this one can definitely grow another stage. And then I don't think there's gonna be a first stage tree. Like this one probably second stage. So is this one. I feel like the cedar tree will be third stage perhaps. And this one here, I kind of don't know yet. That one, maybe we could move it just like lower, like here where I'm standing. Because then it might be able to grow taller without blocking too much. I think that might be the move. But, you know, regardless, it can continue growing. So we'll leave that where it is for now anyways. And I'll put the medium young hardwood back here. Awesome. And then because I did steal it earlier, I don't think I used it, but I could generally use some more of those around. I'm gonna order a couple more bottle crates. Oh, I already ordered a bunch of stuff. Okay, never mind. I already ordered things. Also fine with me. And then, yeah, let's go pick those up. All right, so a couple of days have passed IRL and I've picked up the ordered items and I've also ordered those bookshelves that I was still missing. So let's go back to the area. I also added some details here to the laundry part because I showed you that earlier. I have not continued working on all of this, I think. But I have planted a couple more trees just around Nibble's place, but there's still a little bit of stuff missing. And then I did also actually work on that little community garden thing that I said earlier. Now, I thought that if I put down the sand tiles that the flowers would like stop growing, and therefore I wanted to have like some of them being like plucked or just barely starting to grow. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So I think for this one, I might have to fix that up for the DA or something, but you know, that's all right. Oh yeah, and then also because I was time traveling, of course, I fixed up the trees and I kind of, you know, put them all into the growth stages that I wanted. The trees here on the side have also grown, which speaking of, I think I'm gonna take away this. And then probably the easiest is to get the tree out and then place the bookshelf. And then we're obviously gonna have to place the tree back down, but this way at least the books kind of continue all the way towards the bottom there. I think this is good. You know what? I think this is also enough decorations for the peninsula because you can get like this far out. But I mean, if you're gonna see like the open tiles around the trees, then I think that that's okay. I think that's okay. Let me just make sure there's no like number there. Yes, I think. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to do perhaps, so I've let both of these trees here grow to 3rd stage, which I think is quite nice, but they are on the same kind of, you know, tile line, I guess. And then I was thinking about just moving this one down a tile simply because I think it'll not quite cover as much of the cinema area. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. I'll put the sapling in first because otherwise I think I'm not going to be able to get back there easily. There we go. And then here is the tree, if that works. Perfect. And now I guess we have to sort of figure out what other things we're missing here. So I'm gonna go take my workstation stuff with me because I feel like that doesn't help, you know, having that like in the middle there, because it seems like there's more in the area than there actually is, right? So I need to remove them to actually be able to judge it, I guess. And then what did I drop here? Rolling cart, folding floor lamp, and some small cardboard boxes. Oh, right, and didn't I want to customize the street lamp, which I think, not street lamp, the crossing, what is it called? It's a crosswalk signal. It is very expensive though. It takes 7 customization kits for this. What is it? People, pedestrian signal, route light, bike. I think I want to go for the leaves because I don't know. I find those feel like playful enough for a Kidcore island, you know? So we can put that one back. And then I did order a few more things, I think. Although I'm not sure any of them are very much needed. Yeah, I ordered a couple more of the stacked bottle crates because I ran out. I ordered some more scattered papers. I made sure to pick up more bookshelves in case I need them somewhere. And then I did order some of these like pocket camper things, but those are more for the construction area. So I think the rest of this we can probably put away for now. And then I think we're gonna need to take out some more stuff that we can use like just behind the tables and chairs. So let's see what we can find. I was leaning towards kind of a box core sort of thing, right? So I think boxes are gonna be like the main thing. I've already put down a cardboard table so we can at least put like a bunch of stuff like on top of it. I don't know if I've also put down a cardboard bed, but let's see. I quite like the pear wardrobe also. I don't know if that would kind of fit just like space-wise. I don't know if maybe we'd have room for another magazine rack just because that one seemed very nice with the color, although I'd have to customize this one. And I already have the soft serve lamp, but I kind of want to see maybe the rocket lamp too. Maybe a space heater, just like random bits and bobs I feel like that we can scatter out throughout the area and then, you know, just make it feel a bit fuller, I think. I did have a rolling cart still. I only have like 1 rolling and 1 cage cart. That's not that much, but should be fine, I think. Okay, let's see. I don't need any like big vehicles here, I don't think. There is maybe the helicopter would be cute. Like a couple of toys perhaps, you know. In a Kidcore school, that seems like it would be there. And I think as far as housewares goes, that is probably it. Now let's see. I'm gonna take one of these Nook ink cushions because we can put that on the cardboard table. And then I feel like most of the interesting stuff might be like further down here. Although maybe not, I don't know. Let's get some more toy stuff. Like maybe the beach ball would be good. I already have this here and I don't know if I want a dollhouse because we have the construction part coming up soon, which is basically, you know, focused on those dollhouses. Okay, air circulator also kind of fits the color. This might be kind of like the space heater, just like random clutter and stuff. Maybe the sewing box, just kind of like a box with things, you know? And then we could, of course, spread around a couple more books, I suppose. And maybe like something with the star fragments. Maybe like a nova light or something. Yeah, okay. Let's go and check out how far we get with these items, because I honestly think that would probably be like a good starting point. The folding floor lamp, I kind of don't see us using, if I'm honest. Oh yeah, and then I think I moved this one over because it didn't really work out with like the, you know, because I have to stunt the tree somewhere. And this way I can stunt both the trees in one. So I kind of moved like the soft serve lamp just like here, which I think is good. I have already used the bed, which is good to know. Okay. I can't place anything on there, but that's all right. Now I also don't mind this being like a tiny bit more open because you know, you're supposed to be able to at least walk towards the bench, I think. But so let's see. First of all, I want to see like the bigger stuff, you know, like the pair wardrobe. I don't know. I feel like if we had a school kind of, you know, facing the opposite direction, like this would probably work out. But since I've faced it like sideways, I might just have to place it like on the side here just to be able to include it and like still see it somewhat. Yeah, it's almost too hidden. Or should we swap these two around? So we get the pair wardrobe kind of more, oh my gosh, more front and center. Like right here. I'm actually also okay with that. And then the soft serve lamp kind of goes here. But turned off, I think. Oh yeah, we could move it halfway in. I don't know what that would look like from the other side. From here, that's kind of cute. Very random, but I mean, I feel like that is Kidcore. I think maybe from this side, I would prefer it if it was moved inwards though. Can't lie. Kind of like this, you know? Right, the cardboard bed I'm not going to use, so I'm going to drop that right here. And then I think we're going to have to bring some boxes over to this side. Perhaps the rolling cart or some small cardboard boxes. Yeah, I need to check if maybe I can customize them to be, I think there's like a white option, perhaps. I might need to customize the boxes. Let me just get that balloon real quick. There we go. Oh, I wish they looked different. I wish they weren't wrapped with like red ribbon, just because the red seems too intense for this island. Okay. Right, the magazine rack, I mean, I honestly don't really see where we could use it. Because like we've used the other one here. I obviously don't want to put it just in front of the bench. I don't think I want to put it like here in front of the tree where I've put the rolling cart now. So I don't really think there's many options. So I feel like maybe that's not going to be it. Right. Okay, so I still had the rocket lamp, which isn't bad, but it also does have pink in it. So maybe not. I did have the round space heater. That's right. Okay, see this one might be, I don't know how much a heater would make sense here. And also that seems like a fire hazard with all the cardboard, you know? So maybe more the air circulator. Maybe that's better. I don't know if I want it running. Maybe here isn't bad. Maybe like that. And then perhaps we can just bring in like a couple more. Oh yeah, maybe trash bags over here. Or maybe more boxes. But trash bags work too. Okay, nice. I think that this would be a good moment for some candy. Like generally drop stuff. We can also do some scattered papers here, I think. And then let's see if we can bring in some more stuff. So we still have the small cardboard boxes, which I think would be nice here. Just like a bunch of boxes, right? And then I brought a couple of smaller things too, like the beach ball. The beach ball could maybe go here. Definitely not this way around. I gotta figure out how to place it so that we get like the mint part towards the front. And then we can kind of, you know, formulate a plan. Okay, so this way the mint is towards the front, but also the red. I think this is a little bit too extreme, but maybe placing it from this side is good. Yeah, because this way you get like orange and white and like a little bit of green or like mint. What were the other things that I brought? Oh yeah, the Nova light, perhaps back there. And then towards the front here, we could do the sewing box. Maybe that's weird because it's kind of like the closet is just, or like the wardrobe is just behind it. Okay, or do the box go here? Or do the books maybe go here? Because the books I can't place sideways towards the front here. You know, because I have to place it like from the side, so it would always be placed on the side. And then maybe the ball goes here. Okay, the beach ball might honestly not be working. I feel like that one's too attention grabbing, all things considered. Oh, I like the helicopter though. This is good because you can also turn it on and stuff. I like the Nova light. I like the books, I think. I just feel like the beach ball isn't working too much. Right. What else did I have? The Nook ink cushion. Now I could also just do like something else here. I mean, the cushion could also just go in the center. Wait, what would that look like? I mean, not bad. Or is the Nova light too attention grabbing too? I don't know, I kind of like it. I just feel like perhaps it needs to... There needs to be something like yellow in front, actually. Okay, can I drop something on top of this cushion? Oh, I can, okay. Might need something a bit bigger though. Okay, I want to get, I think, some scattered papers for just like on the floor here. And I think I want to get maybe a little star clock, and we'll try to place it from like the other side so that it doesn't show like the clock part. Although actually, you know what? It might be cute if it shows the clock part. But like in yellow, I think. Oh, and should we have another whoopee cushion just on top of that Nook ink cushion I just placed? Perhaps that would be good. Other than that, I feel like maybe like some toy or something. Okay, so the star clock I do have, I only have it in mint, so I need to customize it. Or otherwise, I could do, I could maybe do the regular alarm clock. What would that look like? Then it's not too repetitive with the star. Old-fashioned alarm clock. There we go. And then here goes the whoopee cushion. Or we'll switch these two around. Wait. Let me see that. Alright, so old-fashioned alarm clock goes here. And the whoopee cushion goes here. Oh yeah, whoopee cushion there is good. See, and then instead we could just switch this one. We could just turn it this way around maybe. So these two, I mean, they're far enough apart, I think, but you know, that way they're not repetitive. Okay. Do we think I should customize this with white, or do I actually maybe like the cardboard boxes? I don't think I love the, I I don't think I love the Nook ink cushion. So now I'm thinking maybe that orange box that I also put with Nibble's house. If I have one more. I have one more. Nice. So maybe this one here. Get it a bit taller. Been having some issues with my Joy-Cons. Sometimes they just don't like seem to really respond, but I don't know if it's just because I use it like sort of underneath my desk almost, and so you know it kind of just loses the signal or something, or if like there's something actually wrong with them. I don't know. Okay, I like this. Now I have one more idea or like thought, which is the little grass standee just in between here, or like just in front. And then I think I'm gonna get one little scattered papers item to use like just in that middle part. Also maybe with these flowers here, you know, so it kind of brings in a little bit more of that design and like the mint towards the kind of back. And then that might be it for this area. I mean, we are already dealing with a solid amount of lag. So like, you know, how much else should we really do? Okay, let's see. So I want to, first of all, customize the scattered papers. There we go. I'm pretty sure the grass standee is already the color that is best. The hedges seem a little bit more orange, which is also nice. We could do hedges too, because they're equally as thin, I think. But I want to try the grass standee first. Oh yeah, see, there's two different types of green, and then there would be like a gray-white version. I think I'm gonna go for this one. Let's just see what it looks like. It might not like do what I wanted to anyways, and then, you know. Okay, grab and spin. Because you can still walk. It's really random, isn't it? But I mean, that's kind of the point, right? That's kind of the point. Ooh, and then here something is needed. I'm thinking some trash bags. I think I like the grass standee. We may try the hedge though. I'm pretty sure I had it. If we have it, we might just try it and then kind of decide from there. Yeah, where's the next like vehicle? A while away, okay. I think you know what we should have right here. We should have a little tricycle block stool combination. I've done a couple of times across the island, and have like a little bear, as though it's kind of like late for school maybe. Maybe it's just like driving to school. I don't know if I want white or yellow, so we'll have to check that one. And then I wanted to grab the trash bags. Can't forget those. There we go. Trash bags, and then please a tricycle. There we go. And we need like a bear. I'm gonna go for like the mint one. And if it doesn't look good, we'll switch it out. Okay, so. Oh, I forgot the hedge, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot the hedge. Okay, that's fine. We can go back. Here's the trash bags. Yeah. And then here is the tricycle. There we go. God, the lag is intense. I think yellow might be good. You don't even see it that well from like this perspective, if I'm honest. Or should it be like down here? So they're still kind of on the horizontal part, just starting to head towards the other. I think maybe that's better, actually. So wooden block stool. Nope, not me. Oh, Sasha's heading to school, it seems. Good for him. Here is the bear toy. Oh my god, I'm like fighting against the lag here, I think. Like I'm just like fighting to place things down. Dude, this is cute. This is cute. And then I may want to try to put the coins onto the right-hand side. Oh my gosh. Was he interacting with the whoopee cushion? I may want to try the coins just like on the other side and then put like a car here, just like on the side. Or would that be too intense? Okay, so we need a car and we need, I don't know how safe it is to have cars on this island because the kids certainly can't drive, can they? Okay, car and then the hedge standee that I wanted to check out. If Sasha's gone, yep, we'll do that first. So here is the hedge instead. It covers more, that's for sure. It covers more, but I think I prefer the grass because it doesn't grab too much attention once again, right? Like it feels like it blends in a little bit better. Okay, and then just for the sake of it, we might just drop another candy down here. Now, I haven't done like completely no tile left behind on this island, but this is certainly a really busy one. But I think it works for Kidcore just because you need, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably some beautiful minimalist Kidcore islands out there, but for me, it feels like Kidcore just needs that extra bit of chaos that you just get with a bunch of clutter, you know? So I'll take it for this one and then I'll revert back to some more simple stuff soon. Okay, so maybe this car is just like parked here for the second because they're tending to like they're tending to the flowers, or we need to move it further in. Like we can't really get it because like this isn't nice. They're taking away too much of the road. Yeah, but maybe like this is fine. And then maybe the coins will just like go here. No! Can I get like a half a tile further down? There we go. Coin number 1, coin number 2. And then coin, oh my gosh, my Joy-Cons. Coin number 3. Okay, nice. This one was the yellow, I think. Oh, or should the coins be like here? Oh my god, look at Sasha. Oh my god, that's adorable. Yeah, maybe let's bring it down. Sometimes it's so weird to work with these coins because they're just like, they're a mystery. You never really know where they are, so you just gotta try your best. But you know, we'll get there. Yeah, that's better. See, if it wasn't so laggy already, I might add some like ducks crossing the road. I did that for my entrance. But genuinely, I feel like I am, yeah, I've got a crosswalk here that doesn't have like ducks crossing either. I did do it here though, and it's really cute. Like if you have a crosswalk somewhere or like just a I don't know, part where like the road on your island seems to be a little bit too empty, add some ducks crossing. It's adorable. I love how Sasha's just like exploring the new school though. That's really cute. I think we're done though. Honestly, I feel like I've done most of what I wanted to do. You know, I've done like the bookshelf backdrop and the board. You know, we've got a couple of students with different like crafts and like cutesy things. We've done this entire front bit with extra clutter, which I think turned out quite nice. We have the little teachers section. I included a bit of a lookout for like the cinema, I suppose. We've got some clutter in the background. That helicopter, I have to say, is really nice. Yeah. Oh my god, look at, do you see that tree? Can I zoom in? There we go. That, it looks not the way that it's supposed to look. But, you know. Yeah, this is cute. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this, and this is one of the last areas I needed to build on this island, which means I'm so close to having this one done, which has me just very glad. It was a fun challenge for sure, but I think this probably will be the last Kidcore island I make, because, you know, even though I'm quite happy with the final product, or like at least as far as I've come until this point, this was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Kidcore was quite hard to do. Get rid of these ants here. Oh, we got some dancing fruits again. Okay, now I'm gonna go, actually wait, I'm gonna go clean up my pockets first. And then I'm gonna do like a little bit of a final glimpse of the things that I still have to be working on. And soon on my main channel, I think there will be the island tour along with the dream address release. And then I'll get to like check off this island, which is quite nice. All right, so we have worked on this entire school section today. Quite like this. I feel like it is very busy, but kind of the busy that I wanted. I think the couple of extra items that we just added here really kind of helped and did it as well. So yeah, happy I went back and kind of put in that little bit of extra effort. There is a little bit of a community garden just to kind of teach the kids right here, which I think I wanted to kind of run. I can't even run here. There we go. I wanted to like run through these perhaps, and then also maybe through the tulips back here, which I can't do right now. But you know, I might just kind of run through these and then replant them. Yeah, we got this little sunken part. I just planted like a couple of flowers. I think I just need to still maybe plant some stuff towards the left there, as I don't know if you really see it, but just to get it like complete feeling, I suppose. And then what I still have to do, I think this part here was completely done because this is pretty much blocked off, or, you know, you could walk there, but whatever. I do see that I forgot to stunt a tree. But yeah, I still have to give Nibbles just a little bit of stuff around her house. Just something for her to be occupied with, I guess. I still have to work a little bit on this little flower pond back here that Lily just sat down by. Apparently this was supposed to be a second stage tree. I can easily fix that though. Yeah, I think we're gonna need some extra bits for the construction site. I'll need to figure some stuff out. I think there will probably be some weeds and flowers growing here so that we get a little bit more chaos into the area. And I still need to bring in some more stuff for the frog neighborhood. But again, I think it's going to be quite simple. And they're going to need a little bit of clutter down here. And then that part should be done, I think. I don't know if maybe like I'll need some stuff towards the front here, perhaps. Yeah, maybe some flowers whenever I can. I did finish the laundry area though, which is very good. And this part here is also done. So like the house, my house part, I still need to decorate the interiors, which I probably should get on so that, you know, is figured out at some point. And something else I'll need to do, I started spreading around some vehicles like here with the little train, but some of them still need some accessories like that little train, and then also this bigger train back here. And then maybe once in a while we could still place, like I just did with the school, you know, like a tricycle and a like block stool or something. So like a couple of vehicles. And then I've got this tiny section, which I don't know. I mean, this is honestly not going to be much, but it should probably be something, or at least just have a few flowers there. And then I think that is it. That is it. I wrote down this part here too, but these are all just like detail things, like really tiny, minuscule detail things. So at the end of the day, this island is really, really, really close to being finished, which is kind of amazing because actually just earlier today, I finished another one of my islands. It was like a very simple-esque island. So it definitely doesn't have as many items as this one does, or as much clutter. It was much, much simpler. And I think I decorated it much quicker than I did sorbet too. But yeah, I just finished that one. My friend and I just finished our Bridgerton Island like about 2 weeks ago. Now I'm about to finish this island. I'm kind of on a roll, but it feels good because, you know, I'm kind of checking off a couple of things before the new year. So yeah. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching today. I hope that you had a good time hanging out. And then I will hopefully see you on whichever island I work on next. Bye, everyone.